Hello, my name is Felicia, a dog enthusiast and dog mom to this handsome boy named Milo. In today's video, we are going to compare two different top dog food providers, the Farmer's Dog and We Feed Raw. But not only are these different dog food brands, but they're also two different diets. One is raw, one is cooked. So, which one wins? Well, for the sake of a fair competition, we are going to rate each company based on their ingredient quality, recipe options, price, and customer service. Now, be sure to stick around to the end for deals you wouldn't be able to get on your own. That being said, let's get into it. Sweet, so let's get into our first comparison, ingredient quality. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to call it a tie, and here's why. Both We Feed Raw and the Farmer's Dog use high-quality ingredients. Their product is formulated by veterinary nutritionists, and their food meets all nutritional guidelines. Now, before we move on to recipes, I think it is important to address the elephant in the room. How is raw food safe for our dogs when there are warnings about the dangers of consuming raw food? Well, everywhere. Well, for starters, canines process bacteria differently than humans do. I've seen my dog eat rabbit poop from our yard and continue on like nothing ever happened. So yeah, definitely different. But if you do have a concern, We Feed Raw and all raw dog food brands in general are required by the FDA to go through a bacteria elimination process. We Feed Raw uses high-pressure processing, or HPP, to eliminate food-borne bacteria, like E. coli and salmonella. There is the option to lightly sear the food before serving it to your dog. Personally, I feel this defeats the purpose of a ready-to-eat product, plus it kind of defeats the purpose of, a raw product, but the choice is there. So we've talked about their ingredients, now let's talk about recipes. We Feed Raw offers 5 proteins: chicken, turkey, beef, duck, lamb, and venison. Each protein is a blend of meat, ground bone, and nutrients. The Farmer's Dog offers 4 options: turkey, beef, chicken, and pork. Each option is blended with a different mix of vegetables and nutrients. And in case you couldn't tell, this product is cooked. So all this considered, I'm going to give the win to We Feed Raw. Both products are great, but the level of selection We Feed Raw offers puts them just a hair above, in my opinion. All right, so time for the age-old question. How much does the food cost? Now, I want to start by saying the price is going to be different for each of you. Both companies offer a free quiz to determine the price. The quiz is more of an assessment used to determine your pup's meal portion size, based on their breed, age, weight, activity level, and any health issues. This process is going to be different than what you're used to, especially if you are a kibble feeder. But as someone who has fed their dog a kibble diet and a fresh diet, in my opinion, those extra steps are worth it, especially when it comes to portion sizes. Now, if you feed kibble or have ever fed kibble, you know that on the back of every bag of food are the recommended portion sizes. Now, that's a great start, but the portion sizes are generally based on your dog's weight alone. No consideration for their breed or their activity level. Not to mention, for many brands, there can be as much as a 20-pound weight difference between portions. In feeding fresh, the guesswork is taken out of how much to feed your dog. In terms of Milo, I can be confident the amount he is getting fed is the right portion of food for him, and I can properly fuel his body. Now, that being said, as I go through these quizzes, I'm using Milo's information. Now, Milo is a 43-pound French Bulldog, so if you are watching this with a dog larger than Milo, then the price for your dog will likely be more, since your dog's portion of food would be on the larger side. On the other hand, if your dog is smaller than Milo, your dog's portion would be smaller, and therefore the cost less. Long story short, the best way to get the cost for your dog is by going through the free quiz. So let's look at We Feed Raw first. Now, based on Milo's meal plan, we can save the most money by feeding him a half raw diet. This means Milo would still continue his normal diet, and the raw portion would be used as a supplement to his food. Think of it as ketchup for your fries. This option would be $29.98 per week for the first 2 weeks. Now, to make a total switch, the cost would be $49.80 a week for the first 2 weeks. We can also go midway between the two options, where your dog would receive a greater portion than half, but not quite making a total switch to all raw. This 3/4 raw portion would run $27 per week for the first 2 weeks as well. Now, moving on to the farmer's dog, there is only one portion option to choose from right now, and that is a total switch to a fresh diet. The cost to feed Milo would be $3.53 a day, or $24.71 a week during the first 2 weeks. Now, on the basis of price, the farmer's dog did come in at a lower price than We Feed Raw for the same full portion. So for that reason, the win goes to the farmer's dog. Time to move on to our last topic, customer service. Reaching out to the farmer's dog and We Feed Raw is pretty easy, with both a phone number and email available to reach their support team. The farmer's dog hours are 24/7. While We Feed Raw's hours are 9 to 5 Eastern Daylight Time, 5 days a week. We Feed Raw offers a bit extra with a live chat feature and the ability to receive help through text message during their business hours. In terms of web design, both websites are pretty easy to navigate. Now, I'm not a designer by any means, so for the average person scrolling on both sites, I can find what I'm looking for pretty easily. Say I want to find their return policy. The FAQ page for both companies will point me to the right information. Now, since we're on the topic, it's helpful to mention the farmer's dog does offer to refund your order with your donation of the unused food to a dog shelter. We Feed Raw, on the other hand, has a pretty strict no refund policy, although in the event of a mishap on their part or through shipping, they will make it right financially with their customers. Now, if you want to hear what other pup parent customers have to say about each company, you can find a review page on both sites. Feel free to take a peek at those, but as always, I would encourage you to do your own homework to find the best fit for your dog. So, that being said, I'm going to give the win to the farmer's dog, mainly because of their extended hours and their support of feeding shelter dogs. Alright, so for the moment you've been waiting for, who comes out on top? Adding up our scores from the course of the video, the winner is the farmer's dog. The quality of their product and affordability make them stand out among their competitors. And I think they offer an incredible product that dog and dog parents alike love. And there we have it, folks. That's going to be it for today. I really hope you found this video useful, and if you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more. And as for those deals I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you want to give the farmer's dog or We Feed Raw a try for your dog, check out the affiliate link in the description. Also, feel free to leave any questions in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer them as soon as I can. Thanks again so much for watching. See you next time.